Welcome to Hacking Self-Storage. It is Friday morning, and what I like to do on Fridays is give you something to think about. I suppose because I've been thinking about it in my business as well, and so I thought that it could be good for you guys as well. Okay, so this conversation came up with a conversation I had yonks back, and yes, that is a very technical term, yonks back, with Gavin Shields, and he was saying to me, Dean, why don't you're starting your funnel, your conversion funnel, midway through the funnel. I was like, Gavin, what are you talking about? And he says, well, listen, it starts with your visitors to your website, and then it goes to your quotes, etc., etc. And he said, how do you know your website is performing? I was like, as soon as he said that, I was kicking myself, absolutely kicking myself, because I've had e-commerce businesses before, and we've always with e-commerce businesses, we started by how many people do we get on that page? And from that, how many do we believe are going to take action and actually buy the products? And it could be between 1% and 3%, depending on what your product is, what you're selling, etc. And it really made me mad. Not mad at Gavin, obviously, mad at myself, because in self-storage, we don't have to be good to be great. You don't have to be good to get great results. That's the problem. And so in my other businesses that I have run and still run, that we track that. We track how many visitors we're getting to the page and then how many convert from there. But in self-storage, because I don't hear any other people talk about it, I don't do it. And it's ridiculous. And so after that, I thought, right, do you know what? I need to start tracking this. I need to start having a look at this. I want to know, it's okay knowing the conversions that we get, the conversions from quotes to reservations. I want to know the conversions there. Obviously, I want to, because it's very easy to understand the industry averages. And I also want to know quotes to move-ins. Again, it's easy the metrics are very, very easy. You can find what Big Yellow doing, SafeStore doing, etc. It's published in the annual report, etc. But what we don't look at is how many website visitors that we get, and then how many of those are converting into a lead, i.e. getting a price, giving us their contact information, and then how many ultimately booking. And why don't we track that? Why don't we know if our website's doing a good job? If you're not tracking this, you don't know how good your website is. You could be losing so many people, so many visitors, so many potential customers, because your website isn't doing a good enough job at taking them through the funnel. The idea of a website is we funnel them. The whole idea of a website for me is to get a customer. That's the top and bottom of it. Is my website is there to get a customer. To really cut it down in a short story, that's what it is. But are we missing out? Is the website behaving correctly? And so we've been looking at these figures, these metrics for some time now, and we're hitting, last week it was 4%. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be, every single week now, I will be disclosing these figures out for you guys, because I think it's important. I think it's important that we upgrade ourselves as marketers in this industry, because at the minute, I do think that we are resting on our laurels because it's so easy. And I don't think, I'm not saying that everybody makes money in self-storage, but just about everybody in self-storage makes money. But the problem is that that's not always going to be the case. This industry is not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be simple. It's not always going to be this cash cow that everybody makes money. We'll have to upgrade our skills. And so I want to start doing that myself. And I always thought I'd never do that. I always thought that I'd bring all the principles that I've learned from other businesses and bring them in self-storage. But quite clearly, I haven't. I've dropped the ball. I fell into that trap. It's easy. We don't need to do it because we don't need to do it. I'll give you another example. My website, beverly24.co.uk, it was a pretty website, but to get a price, you had to email me in. You had to email us or contact us. You couldn't get a price, even if you give me your contact details. You couldn't get a price on that website. And the reason I never changed it is I don't need to. We're making 100 grand a year. I don't need to change it. All of a sudden, we got competition. My landlord set up against me, and all of a sudden I thought, now I've got to do it. And he kicked me into gear. I shouldn't have needed to be kicked into gear, but I was, because it was too easy. It was simple. It was easy. It was making 100 grand a year. But now we've had the competition. Now we've kickstarted us. Now we're looking at all the things we're doing right and doing wrong at Beverly, because before we just let Beverly sail along merrily making 100 grand a year. Now, at the minute, we are currently on target to make 140 grand this year. So with competition, we've added competition, but we've just upgraded our skill set. That's all we've done at Beverly, is upgraded our skill set, and we're 40% better off. we're correctly, we're doing the things that we should have been doing but wasn't doing, and it's made 40 grand different, 40% up on profit. It's incredible. So what are you leaving on the table? What are you taking for granted? What aren't you doing that you should be doing? If you had competition, if it was hard, if you wasn't making money, what aren't you doing for your business? And I guarantee you, in self-storage, if I'm doing it, you're doing it. Okay, I'm doing it. I don't know if you're doing it, but I'm doing it. Can you take a look at yourself and think, okay, where am I dropping the ball? Where aren't I good enough? Where would I improve if I was taking this business over? Because there's so many things that I'd improve now. It's opened my eyes. That one little conversation with Gavin, it's amazing. I have a little conversation with Gavin. I'm like, as you know, I think he's an all-timer. So Gavin Shields, thank you so much for that, buddy. It has opened my eyes and made me realize that I wasn't tracking the right numbers. And now James rang me up and said, Dean, I've just looked at the numbers. The numbers are in. The numbers are in. We're losing 96% of customers. We're only converting 4% into actual customers. So James, that's actually from, obviously it's I'm comparing different industries, but comparing the comparison from this industry to other industries, all I can say is that 4% is pretty goddamn good. I was like, James, that is really good. That was really, really good. If I was getting a 4% conversion rate on some other, like, for example, I've got a hamster website and we get less than 1% conversion, and we're only selling one little thing, but we only get 1% conversion. That's it. And 1%. I wish we got 1%. It's less than 1%. We get like 50,000 visits a month, over 50,000 visits, 75,000 visits a month, and I don't even sell one a month. So it's miles below 1% conversion. So if we're getting 4%, if we can track that and say, okay, this is what we're getting. This is the standard. What we're getting at Beverly, what we're getting from the Clough Road version of it, what we're getting from the Willoughby side of it. So we're tracking now. We're tracking, first of all, we're tracking website visitors. And then we're tracking how many people go onto the Willoughby quote, how many people go onto the Willoughby quote page, not necessarily get a quote from us, but how many people actually go on that quote page, how many actual people go on the quote page for Willoughby, quote page for Clough Road. And what are the conversions for them? A conversion for that, because the idea is that all you want to do is for that customer to take the next step, take the next step, take the next step. So that next step, the whole point of that next step is to take the next step. The whole point of that next step is to take the next step, for the customer to take the next step down the journey and ultimately become a customer. And so when it comes to the website, I want to go to the quote page. When they're on the quote page, I want them actually to fill in that form. That's what I want them to do. And so how many people do that? And we're going to start being stricter and looking at it and upping our skill level, because I'm absolutely convinced that storage is going to explode. It is next couple of years. If you haven't got a competition now, I suggest you will do in the next few years. And the best always win. The people with the best skills always win. The best business owners always win at business. They will always outperform the people who aren't good business owners. So let's just make sure we're looking with our eyes wide open at what we aren't doing in our business. And it might take a conversation like this. It might take a conversation at a trade show. It might just take a conversation with a friend to realize that in self-storage, I still believe you can be average and make a very, very, very good living. And so that alone says to me, there's a massive opportunity in this industry, a massive opportunity. Okay, guys, girls, hopefully this was useful to you. I'm gonna go. All right, guys, girls, I'll see you on Monday morning where I'm doing a review of the week in numbers. All right, my friends, have a wonderful weekend and I'll speak to you soon. Love you. Appreciate you. Bye.